In this video, we shall see simple algebra of vectors. In the previous video, we have seen what are scalars, what are vectors, and what are tensors. So, for simple recall, let me give you again the example definition of scalar. It is a physical quantity that is denoted by a single real number, or it has only magnitude, the quantity, but no direction. Temperature, density, mass will come under this scalar category, and these are denoted by alpha, beta, gamma, etc. Vectors, we can say a physical quantity that is represented by both magnitude and direction. So it has uh, two indices. For example, position, force, velocity. So all these have some magnitude and also the direction in which they are acting. So these are denoted by bold small letters, alphabets, small u, small v, small w, or italic small letters u, v, w, or in this way. So as we represent in our school days. So that is a basic definition of vector, but it is not accepted by the mathematicians, because all the quantities which have both magnitude and direction cannot be called as vectors. For example, electrical current, so it is denoted by two scalars. It is represented by two scalars. Two scalars will never give you vector quantity, so even that has magnitude and direction, it cannot be called as a vector. So in that way, so we have a new definition of vector which is widely accepted by many mathematicians. Vector follows triangular law of vector addition. So that is nothing but this two vectors a and b are joined by another vector which is the sum of these two vectors. So if we have one vector c that is represented by two vector directions, so it is horizontal and vertical. So sum of these two quantities will give you the resultant vector. But the only drawback is we need to have vector in order to define the vector. So we need to have two vectors in order to define the vector. So that is called as an operational approach. So if we define in this way, that is just a functional approach. So this is the only drawback, but it is widely accepted definition. So let us see this Cartesian coordinate system. So if we take this Cartesian coordinate system x1, x2, x3, it is having the directions, and this is a p. Okay, this is a vector. So if we have this vector, so magnitude is given by this mod, that is simply v. So the value, this is mod. Okay, we can define the vector v, this vector v as, so this is a point p. Okay, this is only point and this is a vector. So that can be that has to be mapped with all these axis, coordinate axes. So we have to, as we have seen this, for example, this is in x direction, this is in y direction, we can say this is x plus y, or ax1 plus bx1, by1, ax plus by, in any manner. So these are representing two directions, but we have to map this particular vector with three coordinates, three axes. So we can now write it as v1 x1 bar plus v2 x2 bar plus v3 x3 bar. So, or simply let me say even the small x as vector, x just x. Okay, now I can write it as um, sigma or summation I is equal to 1 to 3 vi xi. So that is a okay, we shall talk about free indices. We have another video on this free indices, this summation convention and all. We shall see that when index is repeating, uh, we can just take away the summation, which is known as Einstein summation convention. Okay, otherwise that we have this, so let us concentrate only on this as we are talking about only vector algebra. So this value of vector v can be defined in terms of these three axes, v1 x1 plus v2 x2 v3 x3. So v1 is how much it is flowing in x1 direction. X1 is a unit vector here, x2 is also unit vector, x3 is also unit vector in that direction. v1 v2 v3 are values projecting on the vector, how much it is. Unit vector is having, as you know, it is only having one quantity. So if you remember, we have discussed in the previous lecture, in previous video, that a vector has uh, 3 power 1 that has three components. So like this x1 x2 x3, so we can say these are the component of a vector. It has three components. It is also known as first order tensor. Scalar having 3 power 0 is equal to one component, only one component we can represent by a single real number, constant number. So x1, x2, x3 are unit vectors as I have mentioned. So if you take in x2, x1, x2, x3 directions, x1 value will be this 1 0 0, x2 value will be 0 1 0, x3 value will be 0 0 1. So these are all unit vectors. Or also you define, or you can denote unit vectors small I, small j, small k, or ex, ey, ez, because they are representing the directions like in this way. So this is x-axis. The unit vector in that way is in that direction is small ex. Similarly ey, similarly ez. So we shall see a simple example of our acceleration. So a acceleration is given as dv by dt. So acceleration and velocity both are having directions and magnitudes. So that we can say now ax ex bar plus ay ey bar plus az ez bar. So if we denote it in terms of our vectors, if we consider all vectors, so here ax is again, a bar is actually this one. So the basic the expression according to our science is dv mechanics is dv by dt. Rate of change of velocity with respect to time is a acceleration, right? So ax, that is rate of change of velocity in x direction with respect to time. Ay is the rate of change of velocity in y direction with respect to time. Similarly, az is equal to dvz by dt. Let us see some properties of vectors. So first we have this commutative law, u plus v can be equal to v plus u swap. Second one is associative law. We can write u plus v in plus w is equal to u plus v plus w. Distributive scalar addition, we have alpha beta as scalars. Alpha plus beta into u is equal to alpha u plus beta u. So alpha beta are scalars. Scalar multiplication, alpha b into u is equal to alpha into beta u. I can write it as like this. Dot product of vectors. So if we see the dot product of vectors, that is represented by u dot v, or in this way, in these brackets. So u dot v is equal to, whenever you say dot product, you have to remember cos theta, because dot product is a multiplication of magnitude of these two vectors multiplied by angle between them, cosine of angle between them, uv cos theta. Cos theta of uv, that is nothing but theta, angle covered by these two vectors u and v, angle between these two vectors, where theta uv is angle between two non-zero vectors u bar and v bar when their origins coincide. So like this. So dot product of two vectors gives a scalar quantity. So if you use this, the result is a scalar, not a vector. If you use two vectors, if you take a dot product of two vectors, that give you scalar quantity. You remember that. Properties of dot product, u dot v, we can write it as v dot u. So both are same. U dot 0 is equal to 0. U dot um, into alpha v plus beta w, that gives you alpha into u dot v plus beta into u dot w. So u dot u is greater than 0 if u is not equal to 0. So if the vector is not equal to 0, the dot product will be greater than 0. U dot u is equal to 0 if this is a null vector. The quantity u, this mod, is called as the length of the vector or magnitude of the vector. So it is a non-negative real number. It is defined by the square root of u dot u. So that we get it as u mod is equal to u dot u whole power 1 by 2. So that is what u square is equal to u dot u. That's it. A vector small e is called as a unit vector if that magnitude is equal to 1. Any vector is called as unit vector if it is having the magnitude of 1 unit. A non-zero vector u is said to be orthogonal to orthogonal is nothing but perpendicular to a non-zero vector if u dot v is equal to 0. So how it will become? So for example, if u vector u and v are mutually perpendicular, so what will you get? U into v cos theta. So that theta is 90 degrees here and this is orthogonal. So cos 90 is 0. So entire thing multiplied by 0 will give you 0. So u dot v is 0 with theta is equal to pi by 2 because it is orthogonal. Projection of a vector. So the projection of vector u bar along the direction of direction vector e. So we have one vector small e, we have another vector u. So if we take this dot product, u dot e is equal to so this u mod cos theta. So I'm just skipping. Actually, what is u dot v? So if u into v, the magnitude of u into magnitude of e, cosine of angle between them, right? So I'm just omitting here e, right? So because e is a unit vector, mod e is equal to 1. So I just omit it. I can write as u cos u cos theta of u comma v, u comma e. That is about dot product. Cross product of a vector. So cross product of the vector is denoted by u cross v. So that u cross v, as we have seen, dot product is u into v cos theta, and this is u cross v is nothing but, so we have to take the same thing, but only thing is we have to take the sine of the angle instead of cosine angle. So let us see some properties of this. U cross v, we can write it as minus u v cross u. U cross v cross is 0. So if u and v are linearly dependent, so if they are in same directions, so the angle between them is 0. Sine 0 is 0. Okay, so you will get 0. Alpha u into v is equal to u into alpha v is equal to alpha into u cross v. So u dot v cross w is equal to v cross w w cross v, sorry, w cross u. So I can also write it as w cross into u cross v. So all these are valid. So this is dot, I forgot to mention. So u cross into v cross plus sorry u cross v plus w is equal to u cross v plus u cross w, or I can also write it as u cross v plus u cross w, I mean in repeated manner, u cross w plus u cross v. So I have mentioned same, it seems. The magnitude of cross product is, this is what I have mentioned when we talk about this cross product. This is a sine of angle, similar to dot product, but we have to take, instead of cosine of angles, we have to take sine of the angle between them. So the simple thing about simple properties of vectors. So we shall see in other video some more properties and also tensors. Thanks for your time.